What's up, guys? Thanks for joining me for some more Pokemon 2... Oh my god. It's early in the morning. It's early in the morning. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining me for some more Pokemon VGC 2016 Road to Regionals as we prepare ourselves for Premier and Regional events. Today we're bringing the same team we have been this entire week, and we're probably going to stick with this team for quite some time, do some changes here and there, and we have already had one of our changes, being the Pixie Plate on Sylveon. I didn't like having the Life Orb on Sylveon. I was just taking down its health way too much. I actually lost Sylveon to Burn and Life Orb on one turn, where Sylveon would have stayed in the same turn without the Life Orb recoil. Also, it presents a front. You know, opponents may believe that I am choice spec if I'm just going for hyper voices and then go for the straight out attack on the Sylveon, seeing as vulnerable as it is without being able to protect. But unfortunately for my opponent, we'll be putting a quick one on them and having the protect, just not showing that we have the Life Orb. I just don't like having the Life Orb on Sylveon because it just shows what item it has right away. So there's not many possibilities at that point. Usually Life Orb Sylveon does has protect, so I don't really want to show my item, but getting a Pixie Plate pixelated boosted Hyper Voice off is still horrifying. So we're going to jump right on the ladder. We're going to be 5-3. Oh, look at that, we're not going to get a loss for one of the disconnects that we did get. So we're going to be at 5-3, rating of 1536. And let's see how well we can do in this episode today. And it is freezing, that's why I'm wearing a hoodie right now. It's freezing out, it's freezing in the house. So hoodie is a really good choice. It's October right now, rainy out. About to go to the gym, so I might as well just get some Pokemon VGC out of the way before I come home all hot and sweaty. So finding finding an opponent a little bit slow. Hopefully we can jump out of the 1500s this week. Hop right into the 1600s. I have not been able to play off camera just yet. So we're going to face a opponent in South Korea, 1513 ranking. Let's see what he has. He has the Kangaskhan, Thundurus, Ferrothorn, Aegislash, Politoed, and the Kingdra. So we see the Kingdra Poly core right away. Swift Swim on the Kingdra, obviously with the Drizzle on the Politoed. Something that I haven't been doing is taking pictures of the opponent's teams. I'm going to start doing that instead of writing them down, just so that we can get that team preview a little bit quicker here. So right away, again, like I said, the Politoed is most likely going to come to counter my Charizard's Sun. The Kingdra may come, it may not. Just Kingdra in the rain is really terrifying, but being able to slow that down with the Charizard in the sun is also a good way to combat that. Usually Kingdra is Life Orb, so Life Orb Draco Meteor from the Kingdra is also really terrifying. Probably going to have Ice Beam on it as well, so the Landorus really doesn't look like it's going to be doing too much in this battle, other than maybe putting the Intimidate down on the Kangaskhan, but it's not the reason why I would want to bring that. Scrafty looking like a good matchup against its Aegislash, Kangaskhan, and the Ferrothorn. Also, I can bring it for the Intimidate for the Kangaskhan as well. We could see the Poly Kingdra lead right here, but we also could see the Thundurus Kangaskhan lead right here as well. So either way, I feel that Scrafty is a really good lead. He could also bring out the Aegislash to counter the Fake Out off of the Scrafty, but I also can go for a knockoff. So I feel like Scrafty is a really good lead right here. Don't really want to lose him too early on in this battle because it's going to present a huge threat to his team. I also can bring the Cresselia to get rid of the stance change and get rid of the parental bond. So I want to bring the Cresselia. Also going to bring the Charizard this early on. I'm going to bring the Charizard this early on in the battle. I'll bring the Cresselia in the back. Do I want to bring the Sylveon? No, I'm not going to bring the Sylveon. I'm going to actually bring the Heatran for the Ferrothorn, Heatran for the Kangaskhan as well, and I can also get some good super effective damage off on that Aegislash, and do a lot of damage to that Thundurus, which really can't do much against the Heatran. And I also can skill swap with the Thundurus as well to get rid of its prankster ability. So I'm going to throw Charizard, and I'm going to throw Scrafty out there, and he's going to throw the Kingdra. Ooh, the Kingdra is going to come out without the Drizzle. So maybe this is a sniper Kingdra. We won't know until we see what's going to happen in this battle. So seeing that this is most likely a Swift Swim Kingdra, it probably will not be as fast as my Charizard. But I don't want to really rely on that. I can just set up the sun right now. You know what he's probably going to do? He probably will switch out into his Politoed, expecting me to Mega Evolve so he can get rid of the sun right away and then take advantage of the Swift Swim at that point. That's what I think he's really going to do. That's why he didn't lead with the Politoed, expecting me to lead with my Charizard. So, the Fake Out is probably going to come from the Kangaskhan onto my I can't even think right now because I gotta. So what do I want to do here? Fake Out. Nope. Let's go for Drain Punch and then Protect. Charizard, yeah. So I'm going to go to Protect on my Charizard to scout out what he wants to do. He's going to go for the Mega Evolution, possibly going for the Fake Out onto the Charizard, but most likely going to see it onto the Scrafty to prevent any super effective damage onto the Kangaskhan. Maybe a double down onto the Scrafty because it presents such a huge threat. I just don't want any unnecessary damage onto my Charizard here. Fake Out onto the Scrafty. So it looks like it's going to be a really it's going to be a wasted turn. Going to get a critical hit onto the Scrafty. Draco Meteor onto the Charizard. Good thing we had protected right there. I still don't know whether or not I want to Mega Evolve right here. If I Mega Evolve right here, I leave myself open for two really devastating attacks from both the Kangaskhan and the Kingdra. Probably thinking that the Kingdra... what I actually can do right here is, can I... see, go for the knockoff. Let's see if I could switch anyone in here onto that... probably going to see a double down into the Charizard. I could switch into my Heatran right there. Switch into my Heatran right there. But if he switches into his Politoed, my Heatran really is in quite a predicament right here. So I'm going to try to get rid of that Life Orb onto that Kingdra right there. And I'm going to go for the switch in into the Heatran, expecting the either Return Double Edge or the Draco Meteor into my Heatran. So hopefully Heatran can go ahead and hang on, and it doesn't look like he's going to be switching out his Kangaskhan, because if he did, he would have switched out first. So Double Edge into the Charizard possibly? To the Scrafty. Okay, still not going to be doing too much. Going to proc the Citrus Berry, so we're going to get at least a knockoff, and knock off the Life Orb onto this Kingdra. And Scrafty's going to be sticking around for possibly 2 more turns unless he targets down that. It's going to target down probably the... ooh, targeting down the Scrafty. Wow. Wow, and I hang on with 4 HP. Holy crap, Scrafty is so annoying. And I'm going to knock off the Life... oh, he's not even Life Orb. He's Lumberry! Probably to get rid of the Prankster Paralysis. Wow! Wow. So who could he possibly switch in on that slot? Oh, this is very interesting. This is very interesting because I don't have Protect on my Scrafty. Probably just going to go for the cleanup hit with his Kingdra onto my Scrafty. Not playing to the best of my ability in this match right here. I was expecting the Draco to come out onto the Charizard. I probably could have just kept the Charizard in there, but it was so obvious that he would go for the attack onto the Charizard, seeing that I protected on the previous turn. So, who could he switch in on that slot right there? I don't even know. He's probably just going to keep the Kingdra in to do a cleanup hit onto the Scrafty right here. Probably going to do a Scold. Let's bring in Cresselia right here. I want to preserve the Intimidate for later for this Kangaskhan. Bring in the Cresselia to take any potential hits. And I'm going to go for... the safe Heat Wave right here. I don't want to go for the Overheat further because okay, he's going to switch out. He's going to switch out into probably the Politoed. The Politoed. Okay, so he's going to set up Drizzle. Politoed's in here now. So he did bring a Politoed in the back. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to take advantage of the Swift Swim with his Kingdra just yet. I'm going to bring back my Scrafty. Going to get the Cresselia out here. Hopefully we can set up a Trick Room. That would be really great. And going to get the Double Edge out onto the Heatran? To the Cresselia. Okay, so Cresselia is taking a lot of damage here. Wow, another critical hit. That's 3 critical hits. What's going on? He's doing a lot of damage to himself. So the Heat Wave not going to be doing too much under the rain. And I do get the burn on the Politoed, so we're trading some hacks right here. He's getting the crits, I'm getting the burn on the Politoed. Okay, so what do we want to do right here? Now, don't know what item this Politoed has. Could have the Focus Sash. I could go for a Protect Trick Room right here. He has no way of stopping that whatsoever. So that looks like the play that I will be doing right here. Then, even if he is Focus Sashed, we will be able to attack before him on the following turn. Now the question is, do I want to bring in my my Scrafty to go for the sack and intimidate onto the Kangaskhan, but the Kangaskhan could be coming out right here and coming into the Kingdra, predicting my protect onto my Heatran. So I think that's probably the best option. But I can also go into my Charizard, predicting him to go for the attack onto my Cresselia, switching out his Kangaskhan. It's really risky of a play right here, but in case he does keep his Kangaskhan in here, I'm going to get another Intimidate on here, onto him with the Scrafty. And if the Scrafty doesn't take any damage, anticipating the Protect, I can just get a free Fake Out on the following turn. So let's see how this wants to play itself out. This is being... So another Double Edge is going to come out. It's not going to do as much damage. Yep. Bringing me down to 51 HP. He is just continuously doing a lot of damage to himself. Going for the Scald onto the Cresselia. Yep, it's probably going to knock out the Cresselia. So I get in my Scrafty in here for free. We do not get the Trick Room up. Does get some burn damage right there, but unfortunately going to lose Cresselia. So I should have just sacked Scrafty to begin with. But not going to be the case. Going to bring Charizard in here. Going to get the Sun up. So that is a thing. He cannot do anything about that unless he goes for the Protect with the Politoed. Still don't know what item this Politoed has. You know what? The Kangaskhan did attack before the Politoed, so there's no way this can be Scarf Toad. So most likely going to throw the Protect out here right now. Or he could potentially switch into the Ferrothorn on that slot. So what I want to do here is go for the Fake Out onto the Kangaskhan and get a Heat Wave off. If he switches into the Ferrothorn, it's going to take a Heat Wave. If he switches into the Kingdra, it's going to take a Sun Boosted Heat Wave, but I don't really see that happening. He's probably going to go for the Protect onto the Toad. So let's go for the Mega Evolution, go for the Heat Wave, and then go for the Fake Out onto the Kangaskhan. See how this turn wants to work itself out. So going to withdraw probably into the Kingdra. Yep, into the Kingdra. So the Kingdra is going to be taking this, the Sun Boost, the Heat Wave, pretty well, because of the fact that it's 4 times resistant to it. So, oh man, doing so many ridiculous plays in this game. Again, just have to get used to this team. So I am going to get a Fake Out onto the Kangaskhan. Looks like hopefully we can connect with the Kangaskhan. Connect with both of the Pokemon. So hopefully we can get that Kangaskhan out of the way, in which we do get the Kingdra down to half health. He is probably, he probably was banking on his Kangaskhan going down, just so that he can get rid of my Sun on this turn with the Toad. Yep. Didn't see that one coming. Okay, so... Now, what I have to do here is, I have to switch out my Charizard, because the Scrafty is going down on this turn. Scrafty is definitely going down on this turn. He probably is going to double target down on a Charizard slot to target down anything that I want to come into, but if he does go for that Draco into the Charizard slot, which I can't really see happening because we're in the rain right now, probably going to see 2 Scolds coming out from both of these Pokemon onto the Charizard slot to get rid of anything that potentially would want to come in the slot. And Scrafty might be untouched this turn. We did get rid of the item onto the Kingdra, which is only the Lumberry at that point. But I really do have to bring in it's the Heatran. I don't have the Sylveon in the back. Do I predict the double down? Do I predict the double down with the Charizard? Man. Gotta go into the Heatran. He may not be expecting this, but unfortunately I do have to go into the Heatran. And let's get the knockoff into the Politoed. Hopefully having the Citrus Berry knock off the Citrus Berry. And let's see how this turn wants to play itself out. Not looking too good in our favor right now. So going for the Scald, probably on the Charizard slot. Oh, onto the Scrafty slot. Okay, so hopefully Heatran can hang on. Probably not going to be the case in the rain. Yep, not going to be the case in the rain. Okay, so we're going to take a loss in this battle today, and really unfortunate loss. Really unfortunate loss, because we played like complete crap in this one. But again, we have to learn from our losses, learn what we could do better for the next time. So let's put our Charizard back in there. Rain is just so annoying to deal with. Rain and water Pokemon are huge annoyance to my team, since I don't have any resistance to water, and water is just an overpowered typing in itself. So, yep. So all I can really do right now is go for the Solar Beam onto the Politoed slot. He's probably going to go for a Protect Draco Meteor. But really, that's all I can do at this point. So, going to go for the Solar Beam onto the Politoed slot. Going to withdraw, probably into the Ferrothorn. Couldn't do anything about that. I have to get some damage off. Going to be into the Aegislash. So, he potentially is going to be switching in to Politoed on the next turn. Yeah, I can't really do anything at this point. Could have went for the I could have went for the Heat Wave right there, or just the Flamethrower onto the Politoed slot, anticipating the switch out. But I can't really do anything about that. Politoed is just incredibly annoying. But even if I go for the Solar Beam, he's going to switch in, and it's going to waste a turn, and I'm going to be going down. There's no way I can win this game. So I'm just going to go ahead and forfeit the match and give my opponent the win that he deserves, because like, we played like crap in this one. Alright, so gonna get a loss. Actually, our second legit loss. We should be 7-2 at this point, but unfortunately we're going to be 5-4. Again, we do not have the record to show for us how well we've been doing here, only picking up the second legit loss in this video today. And I'm going to go back onto this video, going to see what I've done wrong so we can kind of compensate for that. Shouldn't have brought the Heatran in the back because of just how much water that he had on his side, being the Drizzle and the Kingdra with the Swift Swim. Having double Scalds, if I would have been able to switch into my Sylveon right there, I can almost guarantee my Sylveon would have been able to take that hit from that Rain Boosted Scald. And just losing Cresselia and not being able to get the Trick Room up is also a hurt. I should have just sacked my Scrafty early on. Just really wasn't playing the best of my ability in that one, but unfortunately, going to lose games. So I'm going to be coming out with a couple of more episodes today. Probably not going to be in my hoodie because I'm going to go to the gym real quick, and then I'll come back and do a couple of more episodes. And hopefully we can get these copyright strikes out of the way so we can be doing 2 battles in 1 episode. But anyway, that's it for this episode. I'll catch you guys in the next one later on today. Peace.